Chazak Baruch, good morning.
Good morning.
Today is Yom HaZikaron, the day that, as the Jewish people, not only the state of Israel, but all of us Yehudim that are in the Golah, that are in the exile, all memorize and honor any soldier that fought for the Jewish state, whether it was back in its initial creation 70 years ago, or every year since then as well. So today, that is at Hashem, many of our tefillot, a lot of our Torah learning, tehillim, tzedakah, and everything should go for Leilui Nishmatam, to raise their souls, Zat Hashem, higher and higher, in our gratitude for what they have done for Eretz Yisrael, the Jewish people, and as well as the world as a whole. Tomorrow, starting tonight, is Yom HaAtzmaut, the day, the Declaration of Independence of the State of Israel. Really, the date it's supposed to be is the 5th of Iyar. If you go back to 1948, it was actually on the 5th of Iyar. But because it would end Friday night, and in order to avoid Hilul Shabbat, it was moved up an earlier one day, so the Chag would finish actually on Thursday night. Now, so that's what happened. That's happening this year. That's why this year it's starting tonight and tomorrow. It really should start Thursday night and end Friday night, but in order to avoid Hilul Shabbat, it's moved up one day. There's a very big controversy and a question that the day of Yom HaAtzmaut, is it a holiday? Is it a formal holiday? Is it a halachic holiday? What type of day is it? Now, between you and I, it doesn't really matter what it's considered. If a person doesn't want to go to work on Yom HaAtzmaut, whether they live here in Eretz Yisrael, that's between you and your boss, that's between you and your business. That's not the point. The point is, what happens when it comes to the tefillot? We definitely know that melacha is allowed to be done, such as driving and any other electronics. That's obviously allowed. And working doesn't really matter. It depends on what a person wants. But what really matters to us is, what is the order of prayers that is taking place? And I'll give the spectrum, and then I'll tell you what halakha l'maaseh, according to our Sephardic tradition, is, although it's not black and white, but I'll tell you at least what our tradition here in the Beit Knesset is. On one side, there are those that hold that Yom HaAtzmaut was declared as a bona fide holiday, similar to the fact and the way that Purim was, and therefore they're of the opinion that no tahanun, no confession is being done on the day, and from the eve obviously, and more so, even Hallel is recited with a beracha, just like the, let's say, Rosh Chodesh or Chanukah or other holidays. That is one opinion. The next opinion is that no, Hallel could be said without a beracha, but it could definitely be said. So no tachanun is done, and Hallel should be said without a beracha. Another opinion is, say Hallel without the beracha, but not in the middle of the prayers, because Chachamim never instituted it as prayers, as this day was a prayer, because this is obviously a modern holiday. So say the Hallel after Aleinu L'Shabeach. And the fourth opinion, I'm going from right to left or left to right, depending on what side you start from. But the last and the fourth opinion is that Yom HaAtzmaut was never declared as a proper halachic holiday, and not only is Hallel not recited, even Tahanun, confession, like a regular day, would be recited, completely saying that it's not a holiday in any halachic form, even though they acknowledge what happened, but it's not a halachic holiday. So, the halacha, and not the halacha, the minhag that we have in our custom, this is as Chacham Ovadia Yosef, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, instituted. He took a medium path. He didn't go so far to say that we should do Tachanun on the day and completely not acknowledge it. Yet he also said that saying, he was posek al-halacha, that saying a beracha for the Hallel on Yom HaAtzmaut would be considered a bracha levatala, mentioning God's name in vain. He said all the more so, even though I know there are some, he said, that has a minhag to do Hallel at night with a beracha, just like on Pesach, and he says it's a complete mistake. Hallel should not be recited at night, and it should not be recited with a beracha. If one wants to recite it, they could recite it without a beracha. He says we don't find any sources that tell us any time the Jewish people are saved from any hardship or suffering, that it's a day that's instituted as a holiday. There's no day of the year where we commemorate any other special things that happened to the Jewish people post the initial great assembly of sages, the Anshe Knesset HaGdolah. So he says, therefore, not to recite Tachanun. We won't recite Tachanun. But to mention, to do the Hallel with the Baracha, obviously not. He says ideal, and this is what we do here in our Bet Knesset. The Hallel could be said as a Hallel Gamur without a Baracha after the prayers, after Aleinu L'Shabeach, since it was not instituted as part of the Tefillah when the Sidur was put together and when the Tefillah was instituted. So B'ezrat Hashem, that's what we will do tomorrow. The Tefillah will go as regular. It's on Thursday, so we will save a little bit of time on the long supplications, on the long Tachanun, and then after Aleinu L'Shabeach, we're going to recite as a praise to God, as a reading of Tehillim, the complete Hallel, starting on page 113. It's only happening for Shacharit, but Tachanun, there won't be any Tachanun tonight, or tomorrow morning, or even tomorrow night, B'ezrat Hashem. So that's with regards to that. Now, everything's regular. Wearing tefillin. Yeah.
No Tachanun tomorrow.
So,
white shirt.